Hi there, I'm Kelly Damphousse, and welcome to the February 2022 edition of the First Friday Video. Since our founding, Arkansas State has worked to be a positive force in our city and our region. The Delta Center for Economic Development recently co-hosted with the Griffin College of Business a new State Economic Development Conference at the First National Bank Arena. I want to welcome the Executive Director of the Delta Center, Andrea Allen, to this month's First Friday Video. Welcome, Andrea.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for being here. So one of our Discover 2025 pillars is building on our community engagement here on campus. How do events like the recent conference enhance our role here at A-State?
Arkansas State University is a source of significant economic assets for our communities and our region, from faculty to students to laboratory space to research and training rooms. We have all kinds of assets too that we can help our communities and region. The 2022 Economic Outlook Forum was a partnership with the Neil Griffin College of Business and First National Bank, who sponsored the event. We had a local partner who talked about trends they are seeing in their businesses and what they hope to see over the next year. And we had an economist from the state come and give a state outlook, and then an economist from the national level who gave a national and global perspective of how things would be next year. We had over 100 in attendance, which was great considering COVID is still going strong. And so we were very pleased with this and look forward to doing many more in the future.
I'm sure COVID played a large role too in the conversations about how COVID has changed the business models in our economy.
COVID shaped every part of the discussion. And there's some bright spots too that were pointed out to come, and some that have already happened, like Hijinks. It would have been one of those businesses most impacted by COVID because it was shut down completely.
Sure.
And now they have expansion and other projects in mind, and so we were excited to learn those things.
Well, that's awesome. I really appreciate learning more about that. So tell us more about the services that the Delta Center provides for our community here on our campus.
Absolutely. The Delta Center is the outreach center for the university with regard to economic development. And we have services, I guess I categorize them in three main areas. Business services that includes facilities like this facility that we're in today. We have corporations like Coca-Cola, Hydro. We've had St. Bernard's. They lease the space to have off-site retreats. And we also have community events in this room. We also provide technical and strategic assistance to communities and businesses. But we can do economic impact studies, feasibility studies, case studies, and then our third category would be professional development and training. In addition to classes that we can work with faculty to customize on products, processes, and people, we have service agreements with the Delta Regional Authority and Arkansas Manufacturing Solutions. Arkansas Manufacturing Solutions provides consulting and training for manufacturers all across Arkansas, but we have 3 people employed here at the Delta Center working under that contract with manufacturers in our area. The Delta Regional Authority contracts with us to do an 8-state leadership training program, and so that also includes 700 alumni that have a really strong network and a voice for the Delta region. And so that's a few of the services that we provide here at the Delta Center.
There's a lot going on here. So along with all those resources, the Delta Center is also one of only 2 EDA university centers in Arkansas. That's a really highly competitive grant designation. What does that mean for Arkansas State?
Well, it's very exciting. We were designated in 2018. It gave us an additional staff person who is a trained planner. Most recently, we have been focused on recovery and resiliency efforts.
Sure.
We provided training for those efforts for all across Arkansas. That has concluded, but the videos are available on our website. And now we're working with the planning and development districts across Arkansas as a part of that EDA project to develop regional resiliency plans for the state.
That's awesome. Thanks so much. So one of the collaborations that touches the local community that's been really cool is the beginning of the A-State Innovation Center that actually started the first month I was here on campus. Yeah. We had Governor Hutchinson actually come and do the ribbon cutting for that. That's still ongoing, just in a different location now.
It is in a new location. And I think it was your suggestion in the beginning that we wanted more student involvement and we weren't seeing a lot go to our first facility. So we moved it on campus. You'll be pleased to know we do have a lot more student involvement. There's an engineering student organization that is there all the time working on different projects. And they also want to work with the community. So if we could connect the community with those students, they could work together and develop internships. But we have 3 locations at A-State Innovate. Of course, the garage is what you're referring to that we moved onto campus. It's the makerspace. It has 3D printers, laser printers, and someone on site to always help. We have the shop location that's at the Delta Center facility in the industrial park. So we lease a portion of that space to ASU Newport for training, but the shop also has a location in the back where we have more industrial machines like CNC lathes, mills, routers, where you can take your idea and start prototyping it. And then the 3rd location is the lab, which is a collaboration with the Catalyst at the Arkansas Bioscience Institute. And there's business incubator space there and the wet lab space that people like researchers and vendors need to use.
What's really refreshing is, as you're saying, more and more students are getting involved in the garage area, and local small businesses who are needing space to kind of get going. This is a great place for them to incubate their small business, and for us to provide some expertise to them as they're trying to figure out how to start their business and stand it up.
We've seen some great success stories. We had one of our clients make signs, and they use our laser cutter, and now you see the signage that they developed here at the garage all over town. And so that's been a really neat story. The business incubator space that we have at the shop, Delta Peanuts kind of started there. They had one person in an office, and then 3 months later they had everything we had available for lease in that area, and now it's a good business that's up and growing. And so
now, you mentioned your work with resiliency and recovery, but what are some other classes that are being offered here that our folks might want to hear more about?
Sure. We just customized training working with Dr. David Perlman with the Neil Griffin College of Business. It was customer service training for the hospitality sector in Sharp County. And they brought in realtors, frontline workers, hospitals, everyone, because they understand how important it is when people are coming to your community and considering locating a business there, for everyone to be on message. And we have that available for other communities as well. And we have introductory classes through A-State Innovate on introduction to machining, introduction to 3D printing, introduction to SolidWorks, and solid modeling. And so there's a lot of classes going on, but we can also, as I mentioned, customize whatever the training need may be.
One of the remarkable things about the Delta Center is that people tend to think about how the college is made up of professors and students, and don't really think about how we engage with the community to actually provide economic development support. And that's what I love about what you're doing here. If people want to reach out and find out more about the Delta Center, how can they reach out and talk to you about the opportunities that are available here?
Sure. Our website is astate.edu/astatedced. A-State DCED is also our social media handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. And you can email me at anallen@astate.edu. On our website, you can sign up for our newsletter, which is really important for the community because there's grant opportunity notices, deadlines that are included, upcoming events, and we share best practices from communities around the country.
One of the great things I love about what you're doing here is you're really flexible. If someone came to you with something you're not doing already, you're able to work with them and kind of come up with an innovative approach to help them out as well.
Absolutely, and we couldn't do it without the faculty and your support, of course.
Sure, absolutely, so thank you so much. Along with the work of the Delta Center, this is the time of year when we're sponsoring other annual events like the Soil and Water Conference and our Agribusiness Conference. Last month, we also hosted the 20th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. event with the Craighead County MLK Committee. Later this spring, we'll look forward to opening our doors to more and more on-campus events like the Delta Symphony Orchestra and the Delta National Small Prints Exhibition. You know, there's not an event on campus when I don't think back to our original partnerships to help us start off Arkansas State University. Our first president, VC Case, collaborated with many folks here in the community, especially the Wilson family, to help generate the opportunity for us to continue what was happening here at Arkansas State and to expand our capacity to serve the community, not just our students, but the people who live here as well. Arkansas State was founded to be of our community and to serve our community. If you have an idea about how A-State could become more involved in Jonesboro or Northeast Arkansas, I encourage you to email me at chancellor@astate.edu to share your thoughts. You can also reach out to me through social media at KDAM. All right, until our next event, what's up, everyone?